Hey everybody, this is Mr. Marshall and Miss Clemens with another U.S. History Flipped. This one's going to be on the 1920s. It's going to be the first in three. And this is the roaring 20s because there's tons and tons of stuff going on. There's all sorts of cultural changes and foreign policy changes and things going on with economics, which the economics are going to take a downturn, but that's what we're going to talk about later in the 30s. But first, we have the roaring 20s. Tons of music and dancing and awesome stuff. So to start, part one, foreign policy. The causes and effects. And as usual, feel free to pause to take notes whenever you need in that little handy dandy chart. So, spinning star. Isolationism. Right here we have a nice little cartoon. So we have old United States sitting in a separate bed from Europe. Because we just got over World War One. We don't want to have to deal with all these guys. And World War Two is going to be coming up soon, so even more, we don't want to deal with it. We'd much rather stay over here, do our own thing, all that good stuff. So isolationism is the policy to withdraw from world affairs. We don't want to deal with any of this stuff. There's a big, huge ocean in between us. We'll stay on this side. You guys stay on that side. We don't want to talk to you. We don't want a whole lot of immigration going on. We don't want any of that stuff. And that policy that we have as a government starts to also impact the way that we view people here. And the main reason that this starts up is because of World War One. And as you can see from all the skulls right there, which are kind of disgusting and grinning at me right now, which is a little bit creepy, it was horrible. The U.S. was in the war for a short time, and tons of people died. There was a lot of casualties. The modern warfare with the machine guns and the mustard gas and the trenches, we didn't like it at all. And because of this, they tried to start the League of Nations, but America didn't want to bother with it. This international peacekeeping organization, which was our idea, we didn't even join because the Senate said no. And if the Senate says no, there's nothing else that can happen about it. The president tried to negotiate forward. He's like, we really should do this. We really should do this. And the Senate was just like, nope, not dealing with it. We want to isolate ourselves. We don't want to deal with those other things. There's also this thing called the Washington Naval Conference and Kellogg-Briand Pact, which was a conference that was mostly about limiting the military, all about prohibiting war. Again, don't want to deal with this stuff. We just went through a huge war with machine guns and stuff, and we just, no, don't want to. Obviously, it was not successful because World War II started up, but we tried. And a lot of protectionism. We raised all of our tariffs, so that foreign goods become more expensive what they're shipped here, and that way it protects American business and tells everybody else, you go your way, we'll go ours. And this causes a lot of nativism. And if you guys remember from the stuff we've been talking about before, nativism is when we really, really like the people who are already here. We're not too fond of the people that are coming here. So as you can see in this cartoon, we got the United States who's trying to close this door on all these Chinese guys that are trying to come in. And that's what was going on. We really, really didn't want a whole lot of immigrants at the time. Did not like them. And because we didn't like them, because we had those ideas, because that isolationism was going on, we get a lot of laws trying to limit immigration. But the thing is, with the National Origins Act, it limits immigration, but for certain types. So if you're like a white guy coming from England, yeah, come on in, we love you. If you're a Chinese guy trying to come on in, no, badness. So it's so it's kind of racist. We like certain people, but we don't like others. We're not being very equal. That's kind of what America's all about. You also get a resurgence of the KKK. They become super powerful, which really, really sucks. But between 3 to 6 million people, anti-black, anti-immigrant, they hated the Jews. It was really, really bad, as you can tell from the date night from these two people holding hands and smiling while they killed those people. It's bad. And another big time anti-immigrant thing is the Sacco and Vanzetti case, which were two Italians Okay? And a lot of people were very, very anti-immigrant, so they didn't like the fact that these people were coming in. Okay? And that was really, really showcased here. Okay? These people, these two guys were put on charges of murder, they were put on trial, they were found guilty, they were executed, and it was really, really rushed. It was not fair. You know, as we look back on it with like modern day historian knowledge, we're pretty positive that one of them was innocent. Not too keen on the other one. You know, and as you can see right here with this political cartoon, you know, you have the skull of liberty, the death of liberty, right over the death warrant for these two guys. You know, and then you also get the Red Scare, which is tied into the foreign policy and the immigration. Okay? Because we had a really big time fear of communists, and that really led to more targeting of immigrants. Right? Because we're capitalists, we want freedom, we don't like government control. Okay? Which was the Palmer raids. You know, the U.S. was attempting to get rid of the communists, to get rid of these radicals, and again, not a whole lot of equality. You know, we really picked and chose what we liked and what we didn't like. So that's it for part one. Guys. Stay tuned for part two and make sure you're getting all these notes down so that you can move on to the next portion of the flipped lessons. Have a good one.